I saw a post on the social media profile of our company's receptionist, Sarah Miller. She had just shared a new photo around 7 p.m., taken at a charming family-owned restaurant with elegantly arranged dishes. Sarah was beaming in front of the camera, her smile radiant. In front of her sat an 8-inch cake, adorned with red icing that read, "Happy 3rd Anniversary." Draped over the chair was a jacket, the one I had personally picked out as a gift for my husband, Michael Thompson, just a week ago. If it were just a coincidence, I could let it slide. But in the corner of the photo, a man's hand was making a peace sign, and on his ring finger was the wedding band I had custom made for him. There was no mistaking it. We've only been married for 5 years, yet here he was, celebrating a 3-year anniversary with another woman. What in this world is real anymore? A sudden storm hit, and a power outage plunged our office building into darkness. A strong gust of wind knocked over a lamp, which struck my shoulder, causing pain so sharp I had to gasp. I reached for Michael's hand, seeking comfort, but he coldly pried my fingers away before rushing down the stairs to embrace Sarah, gently reassuring her, "Don't be afraid." The technical staff resolved the issue quickly, restoring power in less than half an hour. Colleagues regained their composure and returned to work as if nothing had happened. I, however, clutched my aching shoulder and descended the stairs, only to run into Michael and Sarah. Her eyes were teary, having just left his embrace, while he quickly resumed his usual stern demeanor, though he couldn't resist giving her a gentle pat on the back. I said nothing, pushing through the space between them, which was far too close for comfort, and coolly remarked, "Let me pass." Michael, noticing my icy attitude, seemed to realize his actions were out of line. He tried to smooth things over. "As the company's head, I had to check if any clients were stuck downstairs," he said. "Don't act like that." Sarah suddenly spoke up, feigning surprise. "Oh, Miss Carter, you're hurt. Mr. Thompson, you should take her to the hospital. I'll handle any clients who show up, and I'll call if anything urgent comes up." Her tone was assertive, almost proprietary. Only then did Michael notice my injury, his voice softening slightly. "Why didn't you say you were hurt?" "I'll take you to the hospital." Just then, the driver called. I hurried toward the door. "No need. I've already called a car. You're busy with important matters and important people. No need to bother with this, right, Mr. Thompson?" At the hospital, the diagnosis was a minor bruise, no broken bones. The doctor prescribed medication, advised limited movement, and recommended rest. Meanwhile, Michael bombarded me with messages, asking about the results and offering to pick me up, as if trying to make amends. Despite the heaviness in my chest, his concern eased my heart slightly. I began to wonder if I was being overly sensitive. His calls kept coming, and after several rings, I finally answered, tersely sharing the diagnosis. He sighed in relief over the phone. "Good, you're okay. Don't go back to the office, go home and rest. Don't cook tonight. Tell me what you want, and I'll bring it home." Remembering some unfinished accounting work, I told the driver to turn back to the office. When I arrived, Sarah was no longer at the front desk, replaced by someone else. A sense of unease crept over me. I headed straight to the office, and as I opened the door, there was Michael, lounging in the CEO's chair with a smug smile, as if he knew I'd return. "I told you to rest at home. Why are you back?" he asked, stepping forward to take my bag, as he always did. A faint scent of jasmine perfume hit me, and I instinctively leaned away. The truth was staring me in the face. The rain had stopped, but the muddy, grimy feeling lingered in my heart. I gathered my accounting books and laptop. "The doctor said I need to rest for a while. I'm just here to grab some work stuff." Michael nodded. "Take as long as you need. I'll find a professional accountant to handle your tasks. Wouldn't it be better to stay home and not worry about money?" I looked into his eyes, searching for a trace of greed, and shook my head. "While I'm gone, you'd better keep things in order." Sensing my wariness, he backed off, assuming I was just in pain and not in the mood to argue. He escorted me to the elevator, assuring me, "Don't worry, I'll handle everything." As the elevator doors closed, I caught a glimpse of Sarah emerging from the restroom, her walk graceful and deliberate. I sat in the office lobby for a long time, so long that the security guard asked if I needed help. I felt a pang of regret. Michael and I had built this company together. It wasn't a top-tier enterprise, but it provided a comfortable life. He was charismatic and skilled at networking. I was meticulous, with expertise in finance and internal management. We were like two perfectly coordinated arms, understanding each other with a glance. But that balance was about to crumble. Who would be the one cast aside when it did? Reflecting on everything, I recalled how Michael had initially opposed hiring Sarah. So why had they grown so close so quickly? During her interview, Sarah wore a striking red dress, low-cut and form-fitting, paired with a white cardigan that only enhanced her allure. As she passed through the office, nearly every male colleague's eyes were glued to her. Michael, covering his mouth and frowning, fired off sharp questions. "This is a professional workplace, not a chaotic street market. Why are you dressed like that? Are you trying to show off? Do you have a boyfriend? Any plans to get married or have kids in the next 3 years? Your degree has nothing to do with our industry. Do you really think you're qualified for this job?" His questions stung even me. They were harsh for a young, inexperienced woman. Looking back, each one crossed the line of what an interviewer should ask, laced with possessiveness and blatant jealousy. Yet Sarah didn't flinch. She responded confidently. "My qualifications exceed your requirements. As a receptionist, the face of the company, shouldn't I dress well? As for my personal life, isn't that clear in my application? Marriage is up to fate." She shrugged, unfazed, locking eyes with Michael without hesitation. He dismissed her, saying she wasn't qualified, but I intervened, calming the situation and deciding to hire her. I even advised Michael, "Don't judge her by appearances." I believed her communication skills could make her a valuable asset. Michael scoffed. "She's all flash, strutting around with a fake designer bag to seem confident. She acts free-spirited, but it's all an act. I've seen her type, smooth talkers who cling to men." When Sarah left the room, Michael said he needed the restroom, and they exited almost simultaneously. I noticed his gaze linger on her chest for a moment before he turned away, lips curling in a mocking smile. His cheeks and ears flushed red. At the time, I chuckled to myself, thinking my upright husband of many years was simply flustered. Now I see it was something far uglier, a man's desire, unrestrained by time, place, or propriety. Perhaps Sarah's hiring was a setup between them from the start, designed to trap me. As I predicted, Sarah excelled at communication. Within 2 months, everyone in our business circle knew our company had a stunning receptionist. Once, a longtime partner, Mr. Harris, called. "Ms. Carter, next time we meet, bring Sarah along for dinner." I teased, "Mr. Harris, you've never failed with women. Do you need me as a matchmaker now?" He laughed awkwardly. "Don't rub it in. I thought a few gifts, lipstick, jewelry, would do the trick. But she's tough. I sent her a dozen cases of wine, and I still couldn't get her contact info." An idea struck me. "Maybe you're not her taste. She mentioned wanting the latest Chanel bag. Try that." Before I could finish, Michael exploded, knocking papers off the desk. Hot tea spilled across the floor, splashing my feet. Have you finished your work? Or are you just gossiping about nonsense? He shouted. I froze, then laughed. Michael was always tight with money, probably upset about Mr. Harris's unpaid debt. I seized the chance to coax Mr. Harris into settling it while calming Michael down, wiping up the tea and massaging his shoulders. But as my hands touched his collar, I noticed a vivid red mark, unmistakably suggestive. My hands froze. Michael leaned back, his tone softening. Stop with the charm tactics. Harris isn't trustworthy. Don't set her up. I kept my voice steady. Since when do you care about Sarah? Didn't you criticize her before? He closed his eyes, mumbling, She's my employee. I don't want her falling into the wrong hands. His words chilled me, hinting at a deeper meaning. 3 days later, I spotted Sarah at the office with a new Chanel bag. Nice bag, I said casually. Those are hard to get, right? She smiled brightly. Ms. Carter, you've got a good eye. It was tough to snag, but my boyfriend had a connection. That day, she wore a modern white outfit, her hair in a high ponytail, and a creamy pearl necklace gleamed on her neck. It was stunning. I recalled Michael once mentioning a friend in the jewelry trade who dealt in pearls, promising to pick out a fine strand for me. Instead, he brought back a few uneven, lackluster pearls, saying they were 100% natural and suggesting I turn them into earrings. I was disappointed but kept them, valuing his effort. Now, seeing Sarah's necklace, I realized the truly valuable pearls had gone to someone else. When she caught me staring, her expression darkened. Ms. Carter, do you think I'm some gold digger? I paid for this myself, even if my boyfriend helped arrange it. To prove it, she opened her phone, showing a payment history. I glimpsed her WeChat, where the pinned contact had a familiar, goofy avatar. The latest message read, You're the best. I turned away. Your money, your business, it's none of my concern. I pulled up Michael's rarely used secondary account. The avatar matched hers, a silly photo we'd set as a couple's profile picture years ago when I begged him to match mine. He'd refused to change his main account, citing professionalism, but secretly updated his secondary one to appease me. I found it adorable then. Now, it felt like a mockery. Years had passed. My avatar had changed countless times, but his secondary account still bore our old couple's photo. At 9:00 p.m., Michael still wasn't home. Sarah's social media updated with 2 new posts. The first showed her glowing in a private dining room, the 8-inch cake with 3rd anniversary in red icing front and center. 3 years. The words hit me like a tidal wave. We'd been married for 5, yet they'd been sneaking around for 3. What was real anymore? At 7:30 p.m., Michael called, gently asking if I wanted osmanthus cake from the South Side. His tone was as patient as ever. By 8:15, he had it delivered to our door via an app. Meanwhile, they'd gone shopping at the mall. Sarah's second post showed her wearing a new Cartier bracelet, captioned, A real lover doesn't wait for you to ask. He's never made me jealous of anyone. By 9:55, 5 hours after I'd returned home, I compiled a report reconciling client debts and messaged overdue partners, citing a company cash flow issue and requesting transfers to my personal account, promising to adjust taxes later. I plugged in the security device, drained the company's cash reserves into my account, and had a lawyer draft a divorce petition, emailing it directly to Michael. Done. I ate the cold osmanthus cake, sipping iced tea. I'd read somewhere that betrayal feels like swallowing a giant glass of ice water, waiting for it to turn into hot tears. It was true. My stomach cramped, and tears streamed down. Michael came home at midnight, finding me writhing in pain. He drove like a madman to the hospital. After an IV drip, dawn broke. I woke from a deep sleep to find him by my bedside, hair disheveled, shirt stained with grease from the night before. His eyes, tired yet tender, were disgustingly fake. "Honey, you're awake. Want something to eat? I'll get it. The doctor said you were starving, plus the iced tea and coffee messed with your heart. You scared me to death." My lips cracked as I asked the question gnawing at me. "Why did you come home? On such a special day, shouldn't you have stayed with Sarah? Or did you feel guilty, remembering you have a wife?" He chuckled softly. "If I don't come home to my own house, where would I go?" I pressed, "What about Sarah?" His tone sharpened, as if I'd stepped on his tail. "Why bring her up? I wasn't with her last night." I stared into his eyes, searching for remorse. There was none. Instead, he soothed me like a child. "So, you want a divorce because of Sarah? Are you upset about us interacting? Fine, I admit we exchanged a few gifts, but that's it. You said she's good at networking. During the deal with Mr. Davis, she kept him happy, and that contract brought in over $2 million. I had reason to reward her. Honey, stop overthinking. I won't sign the divorce papers. Punish me if you want. Yell, hit me, but don't torture yourself." I turned away coldly. "So you rushed back just because of the divorce petition?" He denied it, unfazed. "No, I was worried about your health." The room fell silent, save for the cicadas buzzing outside, grating on my nerves. After a long pause, I spoke. "Do you remember what you promised my mom after my dad's funeral?" In our 7th year together, my father passed away from a sudden illness. Part of his estate wasn't properly settled, sparking disputes with relatives. Michael handled everything, running himself ragged during the funeral. Seeing his exhausted figure, my anxiety eased. My mother, tears in her eyes, told me, "Hardships reveal a person's true character. Michael is someone you can rely on for life. But remember, after marriage, stay calm and communicate. Don't act impulsively in anger. Sometimes, you have to let things go." Michael overheard from outside and stepped in, promising earnestly, "Don't worry, Mom. She'll never have to step back. I will, as long as she keeps moving toward me." His voice broke, his eyes like a galaxy, melting my heart. "You said you'd always step back. So now that I want a divorce, will you?" He leaned back, creating distance, his voice low and distant. "Your mom also said some things are better ignored. I won't divorce you. I'll fire Sarah. She's disrupted our lives. It's her fault." Michael's behavior shifted. The first day, he brought bone broth, saying it aids healing. The second, he brought a balanced meal, brown rice, beef, and greens, claiming a friend recommended it for nutrition. I smirked. "Your friend, Sarah?" His eyes dropped, voice subdued. "Can you stop mentioning her?" My hospitalization spread through the company. Visitors came, all seeing Michael dutifully by my side, cutting fruit, wiping my face, adjusting the IV drip. I didn't refuse his care. Hiring a nurse is expensive. To outsiders, we were the perfect couple. Miss Johnson gushed, "You and Mr. Thompson are so sweet. They say a man who cares notices when you cough." My husband? He'd think I'm exercising if I were hanging myself. Her joke lightened the mood. When Michael stepped out for water, I asked, "Miss Johnson, how long have you been with the company?" She thought for a moment. "About 3 years. I'm a veteran." Casually, I said, "Michael's having an affair." Her jaw dropped. Michael returned, and I signaled her to stay quiet. Soon, his affair was the talk of the company, buzzing in group chats. By the 3rd day, he left to handle the PR crisis. I removed the IV, discharged myself, and met Mr. Harris. He sauntered in, shirt unbuttoned, gold-rimmed glasses giving him a sleazy vibe.
"Ms. Carter, am I looking sharp today?"
He teased, then froze at my disheveled appearance. Pale face, messy hair, oversized shirt.
"What happened? Dog chase you?"
I nodded. Not just chased, bit me. Disgusting. After hearing my story, he was stunned. I've seen couples run companies together, but divorce? Rare. Are you sure? I'd considered every excuse to stay, knowing our intertwined finances and partnership weren't easily severed. But his words made it clear. A man who's betrayed you, whether he grovels or denies, is repulsive. Like chocolate-flavored filth or filth-flavored chocolate, nauseating either way. I nodded firmly. I'm sure, but I need your help. Mr. Harris stood, chuckling. So you dragged me here to play hardball over that debt? I pulled him back. Let me tell you a story. In our first year of marriage, Michael and I founded the company. Our first partner ran off with the money, forcing us to use our savings to pay staff and let them go. Leaving the police station, we cried in each other's arms. Afterward, we found the courage to start over. We bought a huge bag of plain buns, surviving on them and water. Michael called clients daily. I scoured for factories willing to produce first and get paid later. No easy feat. I convinced a factory manager, working alongside workers, sleeping at the plant to assure them we wouldn't skip out. At night, Michael visited. Tired? Is the food okay? I grinned. Great. Meat every day. His eyes reddened. He hid his tears, ruffling my hair. Silly? Meat makes you that happy? He pulled out 2 packets of instant noodles. For your cravings. Back then, those noodles were his heart, and I was easily swayed by a kind word, willing to fight for him. A year later, business picked up. With our first payment, I planned our future, unaware I was already out of his. Tears fell as memories flooded back. Mr. Harris, flustered, said, All right, I'll pay the debt. Stop crying, or people will think I did something. I stopped instantly. You're a good man, Mr. Harris. His payment of a 2-year-old debt gave me leverage for the divorce. I felt lighter. At home, I heard rustling from the bedroom. Sarah's lazy voice purred. They're saying I ruined your marriage, but you're the one clinging to me. I'm taking all the blame. How will you make it up to me? Michael laughed slyly. Haven't I given you enough? I couldn't tell what he was doing, but Sarah's soft moans followed. Rage surged. Without thinking, I filled a bucket with cold water from the bathroom. Michael, disheveled, rushed out, only to be doused as I splashed him. Sarah leaped forward, shielding him like a mother hen. Go, he said, moved by her gesture. She glared at me. Lynn Carter, are you crazy? Take it out on me, not him. You've seen it all. No point hiding. A loveless marriage is like sand. You can't hold it. Let go. I laughed coldly, grabbed her hair, and slapped her repeatedly. You think I won't hit you? My marriage isn't for a homewrecker like you to judge. Michael was right. You're trash. All talk, no substance. You think I'm the one refusing divorce? Ask your precious husband who's really holding on. I pointed at Michael. Guess why he fired you after the affair came out? He told you it's because I run the company, and he's in a tough spot, right? Said you'd rest until the divorce is settled, then he'd marry you, make you the queen with a perfect life? Sarah's eyes shifted from shock to fury, confirming my guess. Her swollen face trembled as she screamed at Michael. You planned this together? I poked her shoulder. He's the CEO, but can't even support a jobless receptionist. Did he fail to protect you, or did he never intend to? You're young. Don't fall for men's empty promises. You'll choke on them. Michael finally spoke.
Lynn, I didn't want this, but you forced me to explain.
If we divorce, I'll fight to the end.
Don't blame me for being ruthless.
I laughed bitterly. So I drove you to cheat with Sarah? You swore she'd be out of our lives, yet you brought her to our home, our bed.
Were you happy? You want to fight? With what? I've transferred all pending payments to my account, including Harris's old debt. You're scrambling for cash to pay the factory. What do you have left?
He collapsed onto the sofa, face ashen.
You planned this far?
He muttered. I packed my things and left without another word. 2 months later, I bought a small apartment and settled in. Mr. Harris referred me to a renowned divorce lawyer, Mr. Lambert. I handed him the case.
What do you want?
He asked.
Not the company, but Michael must pay my shares in cash. I want the house. I'm not generous enough to leave it for someone else.
Lambert nodded.
Smart. Holding the money gives you control. If he had it all, even with him at fault, the court would struggle to enforce a fair split. 3 months later, I had the divorce papers, the house, and most of the assets. Michael sold his car to pay the factory. I took Miss Johnson and the core sales team to a rival company, leaving his firm a debt-ridden shell.
I don't know if he has the strength to rebuild like we once did. Watching our company crumble in half a year hurt. But after a long battle, I was exhausted, like waking from a brutal dream. The people I trusted, held hands with, were gone. Once, a sharp-browed boy shielded me, saying, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." Now, there's no one behind me, but that's why I'm unbreakable. After resting, I applied for a CFO role at a reputable firm. My experience made it seamless. On my first day, Mr. Harris called. "Lynn, you won't believe this. That old receptionist of yours, Sarah, keeps messaging me, flirting, even sending revealing photos at midnight." I smirked. "Interested?" He yelped. "Are you kidding? My girlfriend would kill me." I blocked her. Wasn't she obsessed with your CEO? Did they split?
I laughed. "Ex-husband, you mean? No surprise. Sarah mocked me, saying a loveless marriage is like sand.
But she forgot love without money crumbles faster.
Michael, broke, couldn't support her. The last time I saw him was during the acquisition of his company.
He sat in an empty office, disheveled, reeking of grease. The buyer left us alone. He poured me tea, hands trembling.
"You love this tea."
"I haven't had it since you left. I never imagined we'd end like this. I keep thinking of you, how we survived the toughest times. How did I lose you?" His eyes reddened, but I toyed with a figurine on the desk.
"Long roads reveal hearts.
Love needs a conscience to last. I was once everything to you, but you couldn't resist temptation. That's on you."
I asked, "What now?"
He sighed.
"The company's gone. I drive for a rideshare app to get by. I won't starve."
He pulled out a packet of instant noodles.
A final gift.
The girl swayed by noodles was long gone. I tossed it in the trash.
"Let's talk numbers, Mr. Thompson."
Later, at a company party, I passed a group of scantily clad waitresses in a dim karaoke lounge. The leader's face was familiar. Catching my eye, Sarah panicked and turned away. I smirked.
"Sarah, long time no see."
She stammered.
"You've got the wrong person."
A colleague asked, "You know her?" I shrugged. Looks like an old acquaintance. One wrong step, and her bright future's gone. Back in the room, they urged me to sing. I chose a song. Hello, Tomorrow. Rivers meet again, storms pass, pain fades. I sang to bid farewell to a battered past and embrace my brightest future.